YouTube! Welcome back to another episode of Master Duel, Master Chef. In today's episode, we took upon the challenge, and in hindsight, thinking about it, I feel like this is probably one of the best prompts we've had. The boss monster prompt. So King Scarlet wanted us to create decks surrounding janky boss monsters. I feel like this has so much potential to be like multiple episodes. Like genuinely, there's so many like funny, cool, dumb ideas. So my ploy this week, if you're wondering, was to make he made a comment in the prompt saying that I don't want you to end on Boral Sword or some shit. So he wanted us to spam the board with multiple little guys and make a boss monster. Naturally, I took this as an opportunity to summon out Burning Abyss monsters, a great deck at swarming the field. And so I took that quite literally. Boral Sword or some shit? So I decided to play Boral Guard Turbo with the win condition of flipping up Farfa, because as a quick effect to flip a monster from face down defense position, and trigger it to banish a monster. It's the most jankiest boss monster combo that I could think of, utilizing Burning Abyss cards while also taking a jab at his prompt. So naturally, I'm just going to accept that this is last place, because of course he will definitely give me last place for ending on Boral Sword or some shit. So it is what it is. But I thought it was pretty funny. But I will say that if this was like an actual episode with multiple series of sorts, or you could do it like multiple times, this would be amazing. Because it's actually just so simple, but so specific. It's open-ended enough. That's what I love. When you have a prompt that's like too open-ended, you're just kind of like this can literally be anything. But when it's very specific, it's a bit too narrow. And then you're kind of locked into like basically like one strategy for like 4 people type of thing. It's so perfect. It's like narrow but open enough. So I'm really excited. It's a shame that I'm going to get last place, but it's a banger-ass prompt. So shout-outs to King Scarlet. All right. Who's going to get first place? I mean, honestly, like, I feel like the whole strategy that MBT and Doug went for was funny. They executed it pretty well, but it's also kind of weird because, like, they both ended up with the same thing. So it's kind of like, when you think of janky boss monster, Despia the Despondent is almost always going to be, like, up there with your first few cards you think of. So they kind of crashed into each other, but hey, this isn't a Final Dimax prompt where, you know, you get disqualified if you play the same strategy.
Videos you click on, it's not going to happen.
I'm not saying you
also,
stole
if you're
it.
replying to me, you're muted.
Every single one of these
pleaser and I actually forgot that I am a huge people pleaser, and I signed up for doing something that's gonna make 3 people maybe a little mad at me. So
I'm not mad. Literally, it won't be me.
Hey, is there any way that I can just say that all of you won, or is that something we can?
Oof. No.
Okay, well, time to burn some bridges. I graded you guys the way that
What is going... Editor! Dyer, is this your work? There's no way you think this looks good. What is going on here? What is happening?
grade art projects in the classroom, so I used a...
Oh yeah, he's an art teacher. That's so wholesome. Yeah, art teacher, they're never going to be negative that way. Actually, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I feel like art teachers are the biggest assholes or the nicest people ever. Like, there's no in between, right? I feel like that's kind of like my experience growing up.
4-point scale divided into 3 categories. I've got everything I graded you on written down in this little book. First up, we've got overall idea. Did you do the thing that I asked you to do? Next, we've got creativity. How did you approach the goal or the challenge that I presented to you?
Can we make this a mandated rule going forward? The man is creating criteria. You can tell he's a fucking teacher, by the way. He has criteria for grading this. Thank you. Yes, it's cool that there's some semblance of integrity in this show, and not just, well, Joseph sent me some money, so I guess he's first, right?
And finally, craftsmanship and/or execution. How did it go? Did what you do
No, we need
work?
vibes for the
Did it
voting,
go
otherwise
well?
it
Did
kills
go
the fun.
poorly?
Oh, but you realize, like, it's all subjective. So I'm still going to crash out and get mad, even if it's a very specific condition that they've highlighted for the... It makes sense, you know, clearly. You can still argue with specifics, of course.
The overall idea section is worth 1.33 out of the 4. Creativity is also worth 1.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna make my own rating scale based on his criteria.
Overall idea section is worth 1.33 out of the
1.3. This is so specific. Okay, 1.33 comes from the overarching idea.
4. Creativity is also worth 1.33 out.
Wait, hold on, but isn't that really the same thing? The overarching idea and the creativity? I suppose like the overall creativity?
Out of the 4. And then finally, craftsmanship / execution is worth
Craftsmanship / execution. Okay.
1.34 out of the 4. When it came to overall idea, did you do the thing that I asked you to do, which was to build a deck around getting a boss monster out using little guys? Everybody did that, so everybody got full points. The
Okay.
other categories,
Wait, hold on. But I did the... Wait, he's really not calling me out for the Boral Sword or some shit thing?
out using little guys. Everybody did that, so everybody...
Oh, wait, no, so that's the little guy thing. Okay, so that's where I got... The next category is where I'm going to lose points.
They got full points. The other categories I'll break down a little more because everybody had different things for different reasons. Farfa, for creativity, you got a 1 because even though I loved the Boral Guard joke, that was actually a plus. Do not listen to the haters. That was hilarious.
See? Let's go! It was a good idea. Wait, but I only got 1 point.
You had me cackling. You also did just play constructed BA, which...
Oh, come on, dude. Constructed BA. What do you mean constructed BA? Ah, yes, dragging my favorite constructed Burning Abyss card. No, he just watched the VOD, listened to Doug and MBT, yap and keep repeating constructed BA, so he put it in his own vocab and just is parroting what those guys are saying. That's just not true. There's no difference between me playing quote-unquote constructed BA versus constructed Karibo. It's the same thing. They played constructed Karibo. What's the difference? I'm gonna show you. I will prove it to you. Watch this. All right? Like, what's the difference? Constructed BA? Okay. Here we go. There is no constructed... Of course there is! What do you mean there's no... What, you saying, like, you wouldn't be able to, like, put together constructed Karibo? With a sort of formulated strategy? Of course you would. Create new deck. Let's see what Macedo does. Let's just go with Karibo. Auto build. What the fuck? Okay, wrong card to use, to be fair. What was the boss monster? Wait, hold on. Despondent, I think? There it is. Okay, watch this. Like, you get the same skeleton of cards. You get all of the different Karibo names, multiply, 5-star Twilight. That's the core of the deck. That is the skeleton of a Karibo deck, right? So to argue that I just played constructed BA, I mean, you could interpret that this is a constructed type of this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it's sort of the same argument. Like, yeah, I did use a BA skeleton. Absolutely. You know? Look, let's see what happens when you put my monster in. What happens when you put my boss monster for this episode? Beauregard? What happens? You don't get BA cards. You don't get BA cards. Weird. Yeah, you just get Dragon Link. So, you know, listen, if Macedo's auto builder statistically fishing out related cards out into the world, when you put Despy in the Despond... What is his name? Dystopia? When you put Dystopia into an auto build, it just gives you about 1/3 to 50% of the cards Doug and MBT both played. I'm just saying. All right, anyway, that's besides the point. Let's enjoy this.
Is a little bit in the creativity department. No offense, don't kill. MBT, you also got a 1 in creativity simply because you and Doug did show up with the same deck. Maybe Doug's onto something on that.
I fucking love this guy. He's so smart. Like, he gets it. Like, he does get it. It's low-hanging fruit. It's standard. I know it sounds crazy to think that it's a standard Karibo deck, but he's right. Like, if you put Despondent in a deck list, naturally you're going to play multiple 5-star Twilights, all of the names, the the multiply, etc., etc. Like, he's so right. It's true. Like, he's literally true.
Do that second or third thing you think of. I don't know. Doug, you obviously know what you got because you and Joseph did the same thing. You got the same thing he did.
I don't even remember what Gage played, by
Gage,
the
you
way.
actually got full points in the creativity department. I know we didn't get to see your deck really do what you designed it to do, but I loved where your head was at. Next up for craftsmanship.
Wait, what was Gage's deck? I don't even remember. What did he play? What was Gage's deck? Oh, the Liver Lust. What was his boss monster? It was the Utopia guy was his boss monster using the Lyrilusk engine. Right, okay, yeah. Sure. Some Utopia. It wasn't Roots. Roots was the backup, I think. It wasn't supposed to be Roots Pass, even though he did that in one of the games.
Or execution, Farfa, you got full points. Your deck did what you designed it to do perfectly, and hey, can't ask for more than that. Joseph.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. I did what I tried to do. Come on, man. I just don't understand how my deck can make a boss monster and steal the opponent's boss monster in one turn, and people are just like, okay, constructed BA. Like, yeah, sure. Transverser into Despondent for Beauregard, flip Farfa. Yes, standard BA combo, by the way.
Same thing. Your deck did exactly what you designed it to do. Well done. Gage, you probably saw this one coming. Your deck was really, really cool, and I loved the things that you did, despite them not being the game plan, but your game plan never really popped off. So I had to give you a 1 rather than the 1.34. Doug, same thing as Gage here. Your idea was cool, even though it was the same as Joseph's. You know, still would have loved to see it happen, but we just didn't see it happen, so I had to give you a 1
Doug's
here.
deck was cooler than
in last place, we did have Doug. In third place, we have Gage. And then, weirdly enough, we ended up with a tie here between Farfa and MBT, which I know will not fly. So I had to look at some other things to...
I came into this video saying that I don't care. I know I'm gonna get last place because, you know, the whole point of my combo and stuff was that it was probably gonna be a 4th place combo because I held on to the Boral Sword or some shit gag too much. Like, if this was me and Doug, I'd just be like, yeah, no, give it to Doug. You know, it's cool. His deck was cool. But I can't let Jackass beat me. Now I want it. Now I want it. You see, I can't let Jackass beat me. Right? That's the problem. See, now we're here. I'm like, okay, well, you go into a job interview and you're just like, you know, I'm just applying to some jobs. If I get it, I get it. I'm not expecting much. But this is me now at the final stage interview. And I can taste the job. I can taste the benefits in the 401k. Now I'm just like, okay, well, now that I'm here, I kind of want it. Why are you doing this to me, King Skull? Why couldn't you just DQ me so I could be done with it?
Award some additional points in order to determine a winner. Farfa, I awarded you an additional 0.1 points because I did really love the Beauregard joke. I do not think people found that to be funny enough. I am so shocked that nobody laughed at that and they instantly got mad. It was great. Again, A+.
Whoa, relax. Okay, some people found it funny. Chill, yo, chill. Like, why I'm being assassinated right now. Some people found it funny, okay? Bro said no one found it funny. Like, bro, a lot of people did find it funny. Come on.
Plus, well done. Joseph, I do feel like your deck, when I compare it to Farfa's, did a little bit more of what I was thinking of when it came to little guys making that one big guy sort of anime
that's just
style
true.
Boss fights, you know, crappy boss fights that may or may not do anything. Your deck was the epitome of that. So, 0.1.
Wait, but if it's a... Hold on, I'm not trying to make up the rules, but if it's a tie between MBT, then surely we should go to the head-to-head score as a deal breaker, right? I'm just saying tiebreaker maybe should be head-to-head. You know, if you're playing in a YCS and you have Swiss, you're gonna be higher than the person you beat in Swiss. I'm just...
1 points awarded to you, which leads us to another tie. God, this
Fuck!
led me to look at one final criteria to decide the winner, who had to work the hardest to get their game plan to actually pay off, and that for me landed on Joseph. Congratulations, you get first, and Farfa, you are a close second. Great work, chefs. Thanks for having me on, and once again, I'm just begging the three of you that did not win this one to please call out.
Are you joking? This is so bullshit. That's such a dumb criteria. Who had to work hardest? Wait, so you mean whoever made the worst combo? Whoever's combo was less consistent? That's I should get first by that logic. Right? Like, what do you mean? You had to work harder for... Yeah, because the deck's worse. What do you mean? Oh, come on. Yeah, he got 2 mulligans, by the way. Didn't he get like 2 or 3 mulligans? Oh my, wait, no, I think someone else mulliganed against him, I believe is what happened. Anyway, whatever. I'm so mad, dude.
Congratulations, you get first.
Your boss is in the extra deck? Exactly, because it's good deck building. Why would I put my boss monster in the main deck when I consistently get to it in the extra deck? That's called good deck building. Come up with a combo, come up with a strategy, make it consistent. That's good deck building. Why am I being punished for that? Okay, sorry. We're not crashing out. Listen, like I said, I came into this episode not expecting much. I'm just here at the final stage interview. Just not expecting anything, you know. I'm here because I'm just here to have a good time, not a long time, okay? Listen, I'm just, everything's fine, everything's okay. All right, what was his actual logic here?
One final criteria to decide the winner. Who had to work the hardest to get their game plan to actually pay off? And
That's such a weird category. Who had to work the hardest? So by this logic, if I just made my combo worse, I would have got more points?
that for me landed on Joseph. Congratulations, you get first, and Farfa, you are a close second. Great work, chefs. Thanks for having me on.
Wait, but like...
You get first, and Farfa...
But, oh, come on. Is that like half a point off? Wait, I can't even tell. There's too many half stars spread around here. Wait, so this is 3, 4, 6 total. 6.5, 7, 7.5. 3, 5, 6, 6.5. I'm 1 point behind, right?
You are a close second. Great work, chefs. Thanks for having me on. And once again, I'm just begging the three of you that
Wait, some of them is a third? Oh, I can't even tell, man.
not win this
Couldn't we have just put a number up, Dyer? Would that not have been easy?
one to please call off the snipers.
So close, yet so far away, man. Oh, come on, dude. I'm so sad. I got punished because my deck was too consistent. Come on, King Scarlet. Oh, whatever. Anyway, like I said, if it was anyone else, I would be humbly accepting this defeat with grace. But because it's him, I'm mad and salty. You still won overall? Joseph got a total of 6.77 and you got 5.77. Huh? But he seems to think that, but he said I got second. Huh? Why did it ignore the game points? Joseph wins overall. You have 2 game points? Yeah, I counted the game points. I think he did win, but probably needed to win the judge points for the sandwich pan to be lifted. Wait, did I win the judge points? No, he must have won the judge points because he didn't win any games. I'm so confused. Wait, so who won then? I was second in judging? Why are some of these a third? I can't tell. Like, okay, that's a third here. So this is a 1.3 star. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.3 is my score. Joseph has 3.
First, and Farfa.
They're just way more than me. 3, 5, 6. Is this a third or a half? I think that's a third. 6.3 and then a half, so 6.66. Some of them are also I'm not looking at this anymore. This is an editing problem. This is an editor issue. All right, let's read some comments. Okay, real talk. We cannot let Gage calling Lyrilisk. That guy needs to get off the toilet. It's always a treat when judges go the extra mile and show their grading process. Yeah, it's like that's how judging works. I'm glad that King Scarlet is being praised for the absolute bare minimum. Great TV show, trust me. I love this. The show's great. Honestly, no complaints. I'm gonna spiritually go against the prompt while actually fulfilling the prompt. Actual ingenious move from prompt guy. I thought it was funny. When Joseph finally activates 5-star Twilight, you can see Doug immediately start hating this episode. Yeah. So creativity, not really there for those two, is it? And I'm glad that he identified. Hey, Joseph, you should probably let King Scarlet know that in the future he needs a permit to look that handsome on camera. It is crazy how, like, fucking beautiful this man is. Like, it's just, like, not fair. Do you ever see someone so handsome and you're just like, what? Well, what the fuck do I have going for me? You know, like, it's just like, how do some people just get to open called by maxi starter extender every time, but it's like life, right? Like, and I'm just sitting here with like fucking multiple like Wedju temples and like no ash blossom, you know? It's just some people just get to be like that. It's so unfair. Hey, Joseph, you should probably let Scarlet know in the future he needs a permit to... Oh, I just read this. Excited to find out how Farfa gets mad at MBT this week. Well, of course I'm mad at MBT. Well, it's not like personal. I don't think there was anything wrong. It's not like his fault. It's just this one category that's made me mad. which is Joseph gets more points than me because his deck, it was harder for him to establish his combo. He had to work harder to do his combo. I feel like that's a really, I don't agree with that process of grading. That just doesn't make sense to me, right? Anyway, this is bound to be a historic Farfa crash out for losing to Joseph because of the judging. This was the biggest opportunity to make the big-ass B-Trooper fusion. If I could do this video again, I wonder what crappy boss monster I would pick. My instant thought, by the way, when we were first doing this, was Zushin, but that's like really fucking hard to summon. So I don't know. Who would end on a Boral Sword? Farfa in a video featuring Mr. Boral Sword pass himself, Gage. Wait, did Gage do that one? That sounds like him. Standings? Alright, where are we up to? I am on... What is a sandwich point? Oh, 10,000. Well, I'm still winning on sandwich points. 42. Oh, I'm like catching up. I'm 2 behind Doug now. Okay, this week we could actually overtake Doug. That's possible. Farfa loves to create new and exciting rules for this series and assume everyone else has to follow them. Wait, what is he referring to? What rule did I make up? Is he talking about the same deck one? Almost like he has an overly inflated ego and sense of world. Ah, shut the fuck up. First 13 minutes is just them fucking up making a room. This series is so... It's all Joseph, by the way. Like, it's so simple. Like, I volunteer to do it every week, and he just, like, messes up every time. It's kind of crazy. Chat, like this comment if you think I should get a raise for having to edit this episode of Chef. Reply to this comment if you think it's funny to call Farfa Fartfa. Well, only 47 compared to 860, so, it's Master Farfa from now on. We're gonna add a title to that. Doug saying, I almost feel like someone else will do this, and then cutting to MBT also doing the dystopia angle as peak comedy. I like the way the judge handled this. He was by far the best judge. The prompt was clear, concise. The point totals were broken down and awarded fairly. This was pretty cool. That's what I'm saying, dude. Bare minimum effort and, expectation. And, we finally have a good episode. It only took 25 attempts. Never expected Doug to bring Sandwich back again after last episode. Huh? Me who tried to build the exact same Karibo Dystopia deck several years ago. Doug, you can't rely on multiply. Dystopia has to send monsters to the graveyard, but you can't send tokens. Doug. Me who tried to build the exact same Karibo Dystopia deck several years ago. Not that creative, is it? I believe Ignister would have made a 6 material arrival with Goblin Bikers. Oh, that's such a lame win condition. Ignister, pass. The Boral joke was funny. Loved it. Didn't think a second good episode of Chef in a row would be possible, but here we are. Farfa calling he got robbed in 3-2. I did. I got robbed. King Scarlet 26 minutes ago. He's here! He's alive! Wait, hold on. I'm gonna try DM him on Discord. Wait, he's posting 20 minutes ago! He just didn't respond to my Discord. Probably for good reason, to be fair. To be fair, probably for good reason. Alright. This one was so hard to judge. Great work by everyone. I took no joy in awarding places because you all won in my heart. Sometimes in these episodes you can kind of tell who won right away based off of the vibes. I didn't have that luxury, sadly, so I let the numbers talk. And that is why the same deck got both last and first, based off of what I saw each deck accomplish. Doug, I will say in hindsight, I forgot that you did have a pretty cool adaptive backup play. Watching the games once through and trying to grade remember everything you guys did was tough. I'm sorry. If I could go back in, I probably award some points back to you for that. Whoa, hey, whoa, judging's final, right, Shirley, right, Shirley, judging's final, right? Can't believe no one decided to do Magnus, king of the computer. Literally the guy goes into a big dude. Yeah, it's also boring as hell, no? If the boss monster is too strong, it's just not very fun, is it? Those points are giving me an aneurysm. I bet it probably could have used rounder numbers, shall we say. Alright, Chef memes. Unless we can get a last minute, showcase from King Scarlet? I guess not. I'm sure he's busy. He'll reply to me soon. Alright. Alright, we're sorting these by most liked. Alright, memes. Farfa hates VTubers. MBT pays off the judges. Gage is wanted for murder in 4 states. Doug. Accepted. At the end of the day, the wonky quartet is rotten to the core. I only care about the judge. Doug. Farfa summons Borrelguard. Farfa. Ha 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 ha! Get it, guys? Ha ha ha! Or some shit! Ha 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 ha! DZ, Gage, MBT, and all 70,000 people who will watch this episode. Well, I made the one person laugh that mattered. The judge. So, joke's on you. Farfa is a shining example of why witness testimony should barely be considered, if we're being honest. Okay. No chef meme, but I cooked Farfa unranked. Okay. I think the Beauregard joke was pretty funny. 11 people! Woo! Any more recruits? Only 2 more weeks, right, Farfa? Internal existential crisis. He'll be with me soon. Hey guys, 10-minute Tuesdays. Not what I'm called. 10-minute testing. 10-minute Tuesdays. Joseph has had that series for like 12 years. Gage has been in the Yu-Gi-Oh community for about as long. And this whole time he thought it was called 10-minute Tuesday. That's actually impressive. Low effort in Hamaiman's meme. Hey, let me tell you how much I've come to hate the Wonky Quartet since you began MasterChef. Don't blame them. Don't blame. Why are you awake asking for chef memes at 3 a.m.? It's called a scheduled post. I fear no man, but that thing, Harpy Lady, Featherstorm, it scares me. Immortal memes, dude? MBT knowing he can PayPal a quid to the judge to beat Farfa by half points?
No.
This editing was crazy. Is that the video? Okay, great meme. Obvious edit by Dyer.
Honestly,
that does it.
because of how much gets cut, I think this might be like the only show that's better to watch live out of all of ours.
Doug, when I don't include his 27th bit about how he doesn't play the modern game, it was really funny.
Honestly,
that does.
I like how his glasses are frowning, right? That's crazy Photoshop. The actual frames of the glasses are angry, not just his eyebrows. That's next level work, Dyer. Good job. The greatest chef judge. Close enough. Lost to Jackass. When bro says something that I was literally thinking about, so we low-key just got to interlink and hit TS emo. MBT and Doug both thinking of Karibos in Dystopia. Yeah, very, very genius play here. Doug, Farfa, MBT. Absolute freaky. The banter in this episode was wilder than usual. Oh, God, you guys should probably tune into my storage wars things that's happening this week. Some of the shit that Jesse hit out with was incredible. Weird to think that MBT wasn't the gayest in an episode or collab. That's a surprise, okay? So stay tuned for that. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been another Master Duel, Master Chef Crash Out. Bye-bye.